One of the main reasons why I love the automotive world so much is the amount of passion that goes into cars, restorations and projects. This Alfa Romeo Giulia is no different, and today we're going to be diving deep into the story of this car. Now, let's rewind a bit. Back in 2015, this Giulia wasn't in the greatest shape. But the owner at the time had a vision. He wanted a racer. Out went the original engine, in went the 2-litre twin spark from an Alfa 75. The suspension was slammed, brakes uprated, and limited slip differential fitted. But by the end of 2021, that's where this restoration story really begins. Taken down to bare metal at the old coachworks, everything from the arches, chassis legs, floors, doors were all rebuilt, and then resprayed in the original gloss white. Inside, you get brand new seat covers, new headliner, and Wilton carpets. Basically, it's a 1970s Alfa Romeo with the soul of a race car. The engine was rebuilt from top to bottom. High compression pistons, fast road cams, race valves, throttle bodies, and lightweight flywheel. And now it pushes out 170 horsepower. Cooling is handled by an Alfaholics aluminium radiator kit, and that sound, courtesy of a stainless Alfaholics twin spark exhaust system. Pure Alfa Romeo music. So this is Josh, who is partly the owner of this car.
Yeah.
You've actually been on the channel before, haven't you, Josh?
Many years ago, yeah.
Yeah, you were one of the old presenters, and we used to be a Top Gear rip-off, but we're not anymore. Well, maybe we still are, but this is your lovely Alfa Romeo Giulia Super. And it's got a very interesting story. That's why I wanted to do a video with you and sort of talk about, what it's been through, really.
Yeah, so obviously we've had this car for over a decade now, and only in the past 2 years, we actually decided to take it back to bare metal and just give it the lovely finish that it has now. Yeah,
as I say, it's lovely. When I last saw it, it was completely different. The wheels are smaller,
yeah.
The engine was different, and I think overall now it's just fantastic looking. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and she runs really well. One of the issues we had previously was actually doing a cold start. Not fair few times it would just fail to start, but now since we've essentially rebuilt the entire engine,
yeah.
It starts up first time.
That's good. No Alfa Romeo electronics then in this.
Well, yeah. Thankfully, we've stripped out sort of the optional electronics that were in the car previously. So yeah. It used to have a speaker, and it used to have a radio and antenna. We kind of just stripped it out, took it back to just a raw classic engine sound. That
is the radio in itself, isn't it, really?
Exactly. That's all you need, really.
So, Josh, do you want to tell me briefly about the story of this car? Because obviously I kind of mentioned it already in the video, and touch upon what's been changed and what's been modified. But how does it actually, how did it come to be?
Yeah, so this was actually bought by my father back in 2015 and was kind of accidental. So my father has a 1963 Giulietta Sprint, and one day he was going to check up on the work that was being done, because that's obviously all being restored as it is. Yeah. And then this was actually for sale, and it sort of piqued his eye because it was roadworthy at the time, and so he just bought it, and then since then it's been sort of on the road, and then obviously took it back to restoration, and it's now thankfully back on the road again.
Yeah. So Josh, now that it's complete, what are your plans of it? What are you going to be doing with this car? Is it going to be sold? Is it going to be loved forever? What's the plan?
Short answer is we're going to keep it, and the plan is to actually show her off. So we took it to Brands Hatch to showcase it there at a Italian festival. The week after, we took it all the way up to Bicester Heritage Site, nice. Where the Alfa Romeo Owners Club was actually showcasing what's called a National Alfa Day. So we showcased the car there, and the plan is actually to take her all the way to Italy.
Wow! Nice.
So in a few months, we'll be driving from Ascot area through to Belgium, go to Spa nice. Racetrack, go to Germany, also Bahrain, obviously.
Of course.
Before going to Austria and going into Italy, and then back up through Switzerland and potentially France as well. So it's a
awesome.
proper road trip.
Yeah, that sounds great. Oh, what a noise. That sounds brilliant. It's like right through the front here.
Yeah, you get more engine noise than you do exhaust noise.
Which I think is brilliant. I mean, it's a very nice sounding engine.
And the thing that I quite like about this car is that if you want to drive it quietly, you can, well, within reason.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just sort of feathering the throttle so that it keeps the speed going, but you can still have a conversation.
Yeah, it's very much, it's like the complete opposite end of the spectrum, isn't it? It's quite quiet now, but a minute ago it was very loud.
Exactly, and if
but
you want,
nice loud.
you just shot the gear down.
What does the engine that you put in this feel like compared to the old one? Because I know that it's probably quite different, isn't it?
Yeah, so although it's quite a similar build, it runs a lot smoother.
Yeah.
We don't really have any issues doing cold starts, and sort of the main difference that we find with this, that it's just a lot more reliant. Like, it's just a lot more reliable.
Yeah. That's what you want, isn't it? It's more reliable, not having to rebuild it again.
Yeah, exactly.
So Josh, what for you was probably the toughest part of the restoration, do you think?
Yeah, I think the toughest part has been sort of over the course of 2.5 years, watching it come together, knowing that it's still like a long way until like we could drive it.
It's like the anticipation of it, so you know it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But it's like, I want to try it now.
Yeah, and because we experienced the car before we put it into restoration, we know we know how it sounds, we know how it feels, and so it's just it's that anticipation that was probably, at least from my point of view, the hardest point and the hardest part of it.
Was there any thing on the restoration, like in terms of the modifications you added, or the actual bodywork? Was there anything that was like a big issue? There was things you had to change or anything like that?
So with classic cars, rust is a very, very...
It's the cancer, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is just a cancer. A lot of sort of the rear panel work had a lot of rust. And that was a real project to try and salvage as much metal as possible.
Yeah.
And thankfully the people that actually did it did a really good job with salvaging as much metal as they can, then obviously rebuilding some of the panels.
That's been a big job.
Yeah, it was a very, very big job, that metalwork. But I think it's come out unbelievably well.
So Josh, obviously I haven't had the opportunity to drive it, obviously for various understandable reasons.
Yeah.
What's it like to drive? Because obviously normally I'm the one at the wheel and I'm talking to camera about it, but obviously now you got to do that for me, and I've got to sort of get what your opinion is on it.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite surprised when I first took this car out, because sort of my experience has been with modern cars.
Yeah.
But it holds the road really, really well. It's something that I wasn't really expecting. But and because there's no power steering, there's no there's no ABS, you do feel more with the car.
Yeah, almost connected with it.
Yeah, and your brain is sort of hardwired, because you know you don't have any of these assists. You almost have to get into that mindset of, okay, I actually need to think about what I'm doing, so that I can drive as safe as possible.
I mean, that's the joy of classic cars, isn't it? For everyone that likes classic cars, is feeling connected and almost communicating with the car.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds, but it's kind of that's what you're doing, isn't it? You're helping it to move. Yeah,
exactly. And it's almost like if you switch off, that's where the danger can be.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm driving it, especially because it is my father's car, I always try to be as careful as I can with it.
I was going to say, it feels it almost feels like a modern car in it, apart from the massive noise at the front.
Yeah.
It feels
the roaring engine.
Yeah, it feels really well built, and there's no squeak here or anything. I haven't heard any squeaks or anything. So yeah, I'm quite impressed.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously where we've upgraded the suspension and like the shock absorbers, that's all helped with the handling and helped with the feel of the car itself.
Yeah. I've got one more question for you, Josh. If
Yeah.
you had to sum up the restoration in one word, what would it be?
Magnificent.
Magnificent.
Absolutely
That's a good one.
magnificent.
I like that. Restorations like this aren't just about metal and horsepower, they're about passion. And thanks to years of hard work and the guiding hand of Alfa Romeo specialist Charles Chi, this Giulia isn't just restored, it's reborn. And for me, that's the beauty of classic cars. They're not just cars, they're stories on wheels. So there we are, that is the story of this beautiful Alfa Romeo Giulia Super, and thanks to Josh for letting us review it and obviously showing himself on the channel. We'll see you next time.